Welcome to the Pixel Retentive Podcast, where we, a business owner and an artist, discuss the business of art and the art of business. Hey friends, I'm Carl, founder of Epic Made, and I'm the host of the Pixel Retentive Podcast, where we share our thoughts on creativity, art, and business. Past guests include Alex Krokus, author and illustrator of Talking to My Father's Ghost, Aaron Steinke, author and illustrator of Mr. Wolf's Class, and Nico Farah, founder at Product Market Pro. I'm forever grateful for the supporters of our podcast, and we are always looking for more sponsors. That said, Pixel Retentive is brought to you by the creative gurus at Epic Made. Epic Made is a team of artists and strategists who craft entertainment-quality animation and illustration that grabs attention and gets results. With clients like Nickelodeon, WWE, and Sci-Fi, we know how to create scroll-stopping content that gets you seen. Visit getepicmade.com and let's collaborate on your next creative campaign. Sometimes I can read my own sponsor messages. All right, so with us today, we have Alain S. Levi. Welcome to the show, Alain.
Hi, Carl. Thank you for having me.
Such a pleasure to have you. All right, so Alain is the founder and CEO of Motivare, one of the most renowned experiential marketing agencies in Latin America. Throughout his career, he has significantly contributed to the consolidation of marketing and entertainment activities in Brazil, leading Motivare in the execution of over 10,000 projects for clients such as Itaú, Unilever, Microsoft, Mondelez, PepsiCo, and others. Pretty awesome little resume there. Sorry for butchering the Italian names there. Obviously, I'm just a corn-fed country boy from Virginia in the United States, and I can't roll my R's yet, but one day.
My English is not as good, too. You'll suffer with my accent, but we are even.
We're having fun. That's all that matters, you know?
Yeah.
I love it. All right, cool. So before we jump into today's subject, I'd like our audience to get to know you a little bit better. So tell us how long you've been in your industry and what project you're most proud of so far.
Oh, and I need to go back to the late 80s when I graduated in business administration with a minor in marketing. But my dream was always to work in advertisement. And I was hired as a marketing trainee by Unilever, one of the top companies with such love brands. And I was so happy. But 1 week before starting my new job in marketing, the guy from HR, he called me and he said, we are creating a new project here. We need different, diverse people in the sales area. Would you open to start your career in sales? And I said, but I wanted to work in marketing. I was hired with it. They said, no, this is the future. And they were creating what is the trade marketing nowadays. It's back in the 90s, beginning of the 90s. The companies like the multinational companies, they figure out that they need the trade as to strengthen the partnership with the trade to make better businesses to the retailers, the wholesalers, and they were developing the area. And I was one of the first persons maybe in the planet to work in this department. Then I started my career in sales. It was fun because instead of going to the ad agencies to meet the artists and to approve the TV campaigns, I was going to the supermarkets and putting products on the shelves. It was it was fun. I started really from the scratch, and then I was a salesman. I was working this, but then working in sales, I found my passion. Because it was these marketing tools, but the ones related to people. Then we were helping to organize the sales conventions, the incentive campaigns, all those activities. They were more related to humans, and when you see live, the smiles in people's faces, or you see the results. And then I was working there, and at the time was the first steps also of the incentive marketing. Is one of the marketing tools that you create campaigns and motivational projects to clients, to your workers, and to employees. And this was the beginning. We saw a presentation there working for Unilever from an agency. It was called Incentive House back at the time. And me and two other friends, we got, oh, this is it. We would love to, let's hire them. Let's organize this project. But the people there at the time, they were not so passionate about those new endeavors, you know. But then one day we were having fun, a weekend in the beach, and say, okay, if they don't want, let's open our agency. And then like this, after 2 years at Unilever, we decided to leave and we opened our agency. It's called Motivare. There is motivation in Italian. And we started to try to sell those campaigns and organize those events. And, we were really, really hard workers, creatives, and we started to sell projects, and we had campaigns even to Unilever, to General Motors. We started to have a lot of work. But, back at that time, we didn't have technology. It was everything, you needed to do it. It was tough.
Yeah.
And then when the business started to grow, we had problems to deliver it because we had no such experience, and it was not so easy as today to find information or to find benchmarks. And then we are doing this all by trial and error. After 3 years, we received a proposal for a friend that was living here in New York in a bank at Merrill Lynch. And he said, I don't know anyone who works more than you guys, but I need you with me. Come to the US. Let's work in the financial market. You'll be rich. And then my other two partners, they left, and I decided to stay. I stubborn. I said, okay, the most difficult thing in a business is to have the clients. I have the clients. I need to understand how to deliver.
Yeah.
And how to organize, how to structure. It was crazy. But imagine if it was difficult in 3, imagine in 1.
Right.
I said, oh my God, how I will do it. We had been to the hospital, because we were not sleeping. It was really difficult those first years.
Sure.
And then in life, I have a lot of sayings. One that I love is, with lemons, make lemonades. And I said, okay, let's do it. I will figure out how to do it. If not, worst case scenario, I'll go back to the market. I decided to risk. I hired some people. I created the Motivare's DNA, culture. I believe that is super important. I created the DNA, the vision for the company. I structured it. And in some years, I became one of the top 5 companies in Latin America. The business grows. We had all major clients, big projects. And that's the start of my career.
That's pretty amazing. I love it, man. So obviously you're the project you're most proud of is starting and building this business, I would guess.
I believe that the thing that I'm most proud of is Motivare, because my agency is now almost 35 years, and 35 years in this market in Brazil is really, really competitive, and we have problems there with taxes. It's really difficult to run businesses in Brazil. And throughout my career, I see a lot of agencies, brilliant agencies, that they appear, they disappear, they change names, they have problems. And I'm proud of having my Motivare till now, since day one, back in 1990.
I love it, man. I have a similar pride. I started my company in 2006, but yeah, so not as long as you've been around, but I got 1990, I was 5.
You see? Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. You see people come up and get big and get sold out or change their name or fail or whatever, so I always tell my wife, I'm the hare and the tortoise and the hare story, right? Like, I just keep on plugging along, like I'm gonna make it. So
I have an interesting story, because I have all those things. Because imagine, I was successful. I was the only owner, and we had the like great periods for advertising in the last decades. And then obviously I had all those pressures to go other routes. For example, I was always contacted by WPP, Interpublic. They wanted to buy my agency. But
Right.
I was working not with advertising. My work is all, as I told, with experiential marketing. And this was not, we'll talk about it a little bit later, but it was not a strategic tool back in the past. It was advertising everything. And then the other tools, they were less strategic. They were seen more operation. And I didn't want to become a department in a big agency. And I was really, really trying to not to sell the company. But then I was approached by Time for Fun is the Live Nation of Latin America.
Okay.
The show business world. They said, oh, let's join forces. There is a book called Madison and Vine. It was a hit back in the time too. That is, let's use the power of entertainment and plus the power of advertising and create great content, but activate this content. And I said, oh, this can be interesting. And then at the time, I made a partnership with this group, like the Live Nation there. We created a huge agency, was one of the biggest movements in Brazil at the time. We created a great company. We brought to Brazil Cirque Soleil, like all the major shows like U2, and we had all the sponsors. But then this was the other problem. The business was okay, but I'm a little bit, I'm not a traditional entrepreneur. I started from the scratch, my way. I like to run business my way.
Same.
And then it didn't match the culture. It was too greedy. It was too aggressive. It was good. I had financial returns. I have a great opportunity. But after 2-3 years, I decided to rebuy my company, and I decided to become an independent agency again, and I did it. But I had the experience of the partnership. I didn't like it, and I started again, not from the scratch, but I started again in a different way.
That's a hell of a journey there, Alan. I love to hear that. That's great, man. And good for you for circling back and just going, this culture isn't what I want to spend my life in, right? Like, because at the end of the day, you know as well as anybody, like, the money can be whatever it is, but like, if you don't feel good about what you're doing and the culture doesn't feel right, like, it's just not bringing you the happiness that it would. Like, less money and a better culture, a better quality of life is always more valuable, at least in my perspective.
It's not always about less money. Maybe it's a different timing for the money. Because at the beginning, as I told you, when I was young, I had those things that I believed, but I didn't have to whom to compare. And then you go through to the flow, and then you are not secure. Now, after 30 years, I can proudly say that there is a way. If you focus not the money, but you focus the quality, the creativity, the innovation, the success, money will come.
Yes.
Doesn't need to be the focus, it will come. The thing is, I'm obsessed with details. I don't accept good. I want always perfect. This should be the obsession. Then the money will come.
100% agree with that. Awesome, man. All right, so let's get into experiential marketing. I feel like there's a chance that some of the audience doesn't even really know what that means. So I'd love to hear from you, sort of one of the pioneers of this type of thing, what experiential marketing means to you.
Yeah, this is a good question. It's a moment to talk about it, because we know a lot of marketing related to branding, related to advertising, to TV, and then came digital, and everything now it's about likes, about reach. And there is this other tool it was called first events, and then incentives, campaigns, or promotions, and then it became like something that in some years ago, they called experiential marketing. That is marketing tools when you are connected directly to the consumer. When you are in an event, it's live. Things are happening there. Brand activations in big sports events or concerts, you are there promoting your brand, and you have the real hit of the consumer or the client. When you are taking for example, your trade, your biggest clients, a big company, to a trip to Japan to know the practices there, you are connecting to them, and those are different ways to work experiential marketing. And that is a great thing, because during my 30 years, I will tell you that more than 20, I was working hard, but not feeling 100% satisfied, because those tools, as I told you, were seen as more operation and not so strategic. There are even a term that it was called below the line, because it was the line advertising, and below, you have a below the line agency. I said, what the hell is the line? I have a marketing agency, but it was seen like below the line.
Yeah.
Just so shameful. Yeah, it's painful, but it is what it was. I don't know how to say sorry in English, but it was the reality. After COVID was terrible to humanity. I suffered a lot. I had some anxiety problems. It was tough for my business, for experiential marketing. A lot of business went bankrupt because we didn't have live events. We were locked down. We didn't have travel. We didn't have nothing. Businesses. We needed to adapt a little bit to digital. A lot went bankrupt. But after this, the ones who survived, experiential marketing now is strategic, is pop, because humans, they saw that they need humans. And if you see now, all the major events, entertainment, all those areas, people are investing. We need this, even for our internal public, to keep the DNA of the companies, to be human to human, to have the connections with the brand, to understand more than just the digital message. And then it became strategic. And I'm also proud, but it's funny to say that after more than 30 years, I have now the best moment business-wise of my agency during the whole history.
Hell yeah. I love to hear that.
Yes, because we have the same clients, but biggest budgets. And the other thing about agencies, in COVID also, we learn how to cut some excess. Back in the past, I needed 3 floors in Fifth Avenue. I don't know the name, Madison Avenue. I need some petit fours for the clients. There was a lot of excess in our field, and now we are working in leaner and better models. And then the increase of the budgets and the way that you manage your expenses wisely, they put experiential marketing agency nowadays on the best moments in history.
That's amazing. So you're above the line now, I take it.
No, I don't like. If we go to, I don't like the polarization of the world. I believe that everything is for everyone. I like diversity. I like inclusion. I like everything. And the thing is, fuck the line. Get rid of the line. There is no line. I have marketing. There are others that have other tools of marketing. We are all happy working with for a goal. That's why what I believe.
Yeah, look, you use the right tools for the right scenarios, and it's just part of the bigger strategy, right? So, I think, and I like touching on what you said there about COVID, we all really realized what that human connection means to us. We got more accustomed to this digital life, and like everybody's accustomed to Zoom chats now and video chats and all that sort of stuff. But there's definitely still a deep need for people to go interact with other people. Like I love to go to conventions, and I might have went to 1 or 2 before COVID, and I was actually planning on starting to attend them a lot. And then COVID happened, they all shut down, and then it was a few years before I really got ramped back up into them. But no, I love it, and it's the best place that I ever go to do business, and I usually just go to network. So
yes, that's the point, because the content itself is there. You can see everything from Cannes, South by Southwest, TED. It's everything online, but it's not only about the content. It's about human interaction. It's about connections. It's about other things that we need psychologically too, and that's the beauty of the thing. And if companies, they invest a lot in it, they will have the rewards. That's what I can say.
I totally agree with that. And it's been cool to watch things like this evolve. So what do you think are some of the most interesting trends in this experiential marketing world right now? It's things that you're seeing come up that are just exciting.
For example, if you go to the big assets like the entertainment and the sports assets, they are changing. I don't know if you watch, if you analyze Formula One, the racing, NBA, soccer globally here in the US, all those things, those assets, for example, in sports, they used to have audience, and the connection was related to the game. Nowadays is about the experience. If you go to a Formula One a race, it's a Disney of cars. It's not about only the race anymore.
Right.
And they have content on Netflix. They have now a movie that is on the theaters with Brad Pitt, and you start connecting with it differently and gives opportunities to the brands, spend more time with the people using this language and not being seen as that the old model of sponsorship too, that is having only the brand. You know, I had the brand on the shirt, I had the brand on the sign, and okay, I said, oh, this is okay for the brand, but and the connection, the experience. Now the brands, they have opportunity to show not only their brand but their values, their beliefs, or even their products or service to consumers in all those things. And then you have a total revolution in Formula One, on NBA, the way that they went global, the way that you have more talents from all over the world, and the way that they are expanding in Brazil, they are huge now. For example, you see this with tennis, you see this with all the with soccer. We are not now having here in the US also the soccer club tournament. Next year we will have the World Cup. This was supposed to be a sport for Europe and from Latin America, but now it's growing here in the US too. But the challenge is not only the game again.
Yeah.
Now you have to think how to talk to this new audience, not only about the game, but about, I don't know, statistics, bets in all the screens, not only on the TV. And then there are a lot of opportunities to make those assets more broad on their reach, not only about the people watching those games or events or sports or even concerts, and brands have a way to participate in it with a different kind of connections and with more authenticity, you know. And this is the biggest trend that we will see in the next years, the growth of the experiential marketing.
Yeah, I love that. I love seeing soccer come up too. I was huge. Like, soccer was my primary sport growing up, and having Messi play over here in the MLS is crazy. And I've obviously the World Cup, man. I definitely, like, that's the only sport I watch. Like, I watch like fighting and the World Cup. Like, that's it. Like, I don't watch any other sports. Like, I don't even watch MLS or any of the European leagues. Like, just the World Cup. Like, it's like, I don't have time, right? Like, I'm running a business to do a lot of other stuff, but so I'm excited to see that happen. But you're absolutely right. Finding the things that these sports leagues and these entertainment venues do great is just really finding deep, meaningful ways to build fandom and engagement with their communities, right? And it's a lifestyle, right? Like, people eat, sleep, and breathe their teams in these fantasy leagues and these stats, and finding ways to reach them where they're at that isn't just like, hey, buy our shit, here's a logo. Like, nobody wants that anymore. It doesn't even work on the younger generations. Like, they literally are annoyed by it more than anything. And so I love the idea of deeply engaging in unique ways. And some of these ways aren't new. They were sort of neglected for a while, or, like you said, seen as like a lesser value. But I see cycles in marketing and all sorts of things. Like, it used to be, super cool that, you can send 1 million emails now, but what's more meaningful? Like, when you send someone a handwritten letter, all of a sudden, right, that has that more of a human touch, right? So for me,
there is this vintage trend nowadays.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something, because the thing is that it's the whole system. My generation, I have a joke that we messed up. It was this aggressive capitalism, and marketing was only to sell,
Yes.
sell. And with time, or now, I decided to regenerate. It's not only about selling. It's about community. It's about creating perspectives. It's about diversity, sustainability, everything. Not being is not an activist itself, but marketing has its power to shape culture. And
Yep.
our responsibility as marketers is create campaigns that will be part of this culture in a way that not only to sell products, but improve the world and improve the lives of our consumers.
Yeah,
That,
that's beautiful.
that being said, there is this shift in your mind when you will have your briefings or think about your campaigns and say, oh, the consumer is not the consumer. It could have been my son, my mom,
Ooh.
friend. It's not, you bring it to you and you treat it different. And this concept that you said about, I don't need people buying I need people buying my products, but I need fans.
Yep.
The concept of fan is beautiful because the fan is the one that it will root for you and will advocate for you. And nowadays with technology and with this not with is not focused anymore, is more broad than the reach. You have everyone working and making marketing for you as a big net.
Yeah.
And this change, when you think about, I need to have fans, I need to engage, even if it means having long-term results. But this is the way that marketing will work in the next years, in my point of view.
I love it. And we see a lot of that at Epic Made as well. We talk about, I'm sure you heard in our little ad, but
Yeah.
we bring entertainment quality ideas and storytelling into advertising, right? And what is that? That's fandom. That's like bringing a story and touching someone in a human way in their emotions and going, hey, come on this journey with us. Like when we see you and you see us, and like let's build a community kind of thing. And I love that. That's the way the best things happen, right? That's the best, and you see that obviously in entertainment brands a lot, but it's working across, it works in other industries as well. It really does. And I see this a lot in Web3 as well. I don't know how familiar you are with blockchain and crypto and all that, but like really see amazing community building with these assets and tokenization of things, from NFTs to coins and all the different ways you can utilize that technology. But basically it's giving this sort of financial sovereignty to your community and allowing them to interact with your brand in ways that you couldn't even necessarily imagine when you put it out there, right? Like some of the biggest brands, like Bored Apes, for instance, they made all their NFTs. They didn't know that they were going to build this crazy community from them. They just knew it just started to become something. And then all of a sudden, like they're co-creating stories and you're getting access to all these things because you have these NFTs. And it's just a very powerful way to deepen that customer engagement. And I see that coming up in the scene as well, especially with some like ticketing systems. Like I've seen things where people have an NFT associated with their ticket, and then they can go claim posters and limited edition things with that and trade them out with other people. And it just creates more and more ways to make this kind of experiential thing that we really didn't have a technology for before, which is pretty cool. So I love all of this.
Yeah, we need to embrace change. We need to use technology and we need to be smart. For example, we have now a good example here in the US, the liquid death water. If you don't drink, you need to feel well when you are, hanging out and you are there and in concert shows. And now you have this cool, can, and their marketing is so young, so fresh, so using technology. And then nowadays, for example, I drink water. I feel good drinking my bottle of water when I'm out at night. Okay, I'm old. It's not part of it. But it's about changing some mindsets, and I like it. It's about purpose. It's about communities. And at the end of the day, if we see the old model, it will be, how can I sell water?
Right.
It's pure. It's fresh. It's the fountain in the mountains, And nowadays we can risk a lot, I have seen terrible things, but a lot of great things that makes me optimistic about the future.
Yeah, liquid death's a great example of that, right? Like, so you had this like extreme sports industry that was dominated by these energy drinks, but these guys and women are professional athletes. Like, they're not trying to drink this sugary shit like they don't want. They were literally filling their cans up with water, dumping the Red Bull out, filling it up with water and drinking them and like, oh, sponsored by Red Bull because they need the money, right? Like, and that's when Liquid Death saw the opportunity and came in. I was like, hey, let's make a really edgy, really aggressive brand, take a whole lot of risk and sell water. And hell, let's call it Liquid Death. Like, what are we even talking? Like, none of it. If you'd have pitched this to somebody 50 years ago, they'd have been like, you're absolutely nuts. Nobody will buy that. No one will drink that. Liquid Death, are you kidding? And then like these crazy gory commercials that are animated like a 90s MTV cartoon, like absolute mayhem, right? But it really hit, and it's this amazing brand now, and they just sell water. It's just water. Like, it's not even special. Like, it's literally about the brand, the community engagement, making their customers still feel seen. And like, if you're holding Liquid Death, that's a statement, right? Like you're like, it's edgy and it's like different, I love it. It's really cool. And again, they did a whole lot of experiential marketing, which is probably the biggest thing they did do, right? So
Yes.
That's really important there. So let's see. Have you seen any of this like XR, AR type of stuff, right? Like, so you have products that, you can pull up your phone and transforms into all kind of like videos will come up. And like, I imagine that's starting to bubble up in the experiential marketing space of like these interactive AR overlay type of things.
We have two trends.
Okay.
Technology for sure. We have a lot of AI, a lot of technology, but there is another trend that you mentioned before, that going back to the vintage, because with AI nowadays, if you go to brand experiencing, you are bringing back things that you do physically. I have the screens, I have the handsets, the glasses, everything, but I want to write down something with a pen. I want to throw a ball, and we are mixing nowadays those two experiences because technology shows that it has advanced, but we are putting people to sweat and to play as in old times, and this is the new trend, is bringing more activity and physical things to the experiential marketing and to the brand activation. It's crazy. It's interesting.
I love it. So is there anything cool that you're working on right now that you can share, that isn't under NDA or anything like that?
As I told you, we have been working for those big brands, and we had some projects. As I told you, NBA is big in Brazil. We had those brand activations for PepsiCo, from Unilever Hellmann's, the mayonnaise, and from Huffles, the chips. Everything with a lot of technology, but making the shots and having at the same time to make something strange, and people in groups like those old TV shows, that you have people competing. Those are fun. One of my clients is Banco Itaú, is the biggest bank in Latin America, and they are huge, and now they are bold. For example, they are sponsoring here. They are main sponsors of South by Southwest and from Miami Open, the tennis tournament. And I do all their brand activations here, for example, in the tennis in Miami. And I tell you, that's interesting, because in the past, for example, to a brand like Itaú to sponsor a tennis tournament was about, create some layouts for the banners and see if they applied on the right places. It was like this. Now we had 20 events parallel to the tennis tournament itself. On the event that is on Hard Rock, it's a big, huge venue that you spend the day. It's not a place that you go only to watch the game. You have a lot of restaurants, you have activities, you have the brands promoting things, you have DJs. It's like a party, and you go there, and then there are a lot of projects there related to the brand, but also parallel in the city, from the clients that we bring from Brazil, from the services that we give to the customers. For example, here in Miami, it's about creating fans, creating experience, and engaging with your audience. It's interesting.
I love it. I'd be curious to hear some of the like brand activation stuff that you've seen like Pepsi do, for instance. Like, I'm always interested. It's such an old brand, right? So everybody knows Pepsi, right? They don't need to advertise. So when they do things, it needs to be special in some way. I feel like otherwise, like I don't know what's the
For
point.
PepsiCo, I don't work with the drink Pepsi. I work with Huffles. It's their brand, and that
Got it.
I didn't work with them. I have one story back. I will tell you one from now, one from the past. It was this is good. We introduced Microsoft in Brazil.
Oh,
And when Microsoft landed in Brazil or even in the world was back in the 90s, 96, 97. It was the first steps of internet. We didn't know what was the net.
oh wow.
No, and there were some crazy guys in a place like Modern, and we said, "Oh my God!" I also may I trust those guys? We didn't know. We will launch the Internet Explorer. It was the browser, but we want to make something that no one can make, that it would be memorable, and I need something huge that will stop the country, something that people will talk about for times, because this is huge. They knew that internet would be huge. We didn't know not even what it was. And then we were there months to understand what it was internet, to create, and they needed an event that was memorable. And then we created a physical experience or what the internet could be. Because people, they were starting to have computers. They don't even know what was the net. And then we went to find a huge space, a park, when we could create a lot of tents. People were invited. It was an event in night. And we have different tents that people were walking through them. Everyone was decorated as a different space, a different website. It's I'm navigating to different things, and you had those screens, and to go to one tent to another, you press the button like the return, and you were navigating through spaces to understand this will be the internet. We will be going without going on your computer. We will be going to different places. This was the main concept, and then at one moment, everyone was sent. It was like a maze, and they ended up in a huge tent that this was Microsoft, the Microsoft tent, and there was everything with Internet Explorer. And then we created like at that time a 360 video. You have different screens all over the place. Nowadays, it would be easy with with LED, but at the time it was really tough to create all this technology. We have different screens and a video when we had people then in different parts of the world talking to each other. And then we have sand, we have water and war. We were creating those experiences and explaining, this is Internet Explorer. It's a browser. You will put it on your computer, and then you will be able to go to Germany without going to Germany, to come to the US without going to the US, asking things. And we explain everything of the internet in this experience. But the funny thing, no, it was magical. It was till now, it's one of the biggest thing that Microsoft did all over the world. It was, we got a lot of awards. And then, but let me tell you what it was funny. Then in one moment, events, you are always scared that something goes wrong. And then we were having these people were, wow, oh, what is it? We had, I believe, 5,000 people there in those huge tents. And then we have a total blackout.
Oh, no.
Intentionally. They didn't know. The blackout, and then out of the blue, a spaceship lands on the park. I have picture of it. I have videos. They land. And two ETs, they leave they had everything, lights and smoke, everything. The spaceship lands, and two ETs they say, oh, this will be huge. We were going in another galaxy and we connected with you. It was like giving the mission and the vision that what could be, and then lights on. Show the biggest artists in Brazil. We had party, we celebrated, but then we landed a spaceship in this park. it was difficult to build it. We had engineers. We needed to cover the crane with smoke, and then there were buildings around. People were calling the police. We say, we don't know what is happening here in São Paulo. It is landing on the park. It was a buzz in the city, and this is one. It's an old story, but it's one of the most memorable cases I had in my whole career, and this gave me confidence in being bold. Because at the time we just sold it because we were young and not crazy, but said, okay, let's propose it. No, you are, as you said, it's crazy, liquid debt. I said, no, let's do it. Let's propose. And then the guy said, no, this is what we need. And then we created we brought Microsoft to Brazil, and they are our clients still now.
That may well be one.
This is fans. They are our clients still now. This is the beauty of it.
I love that. That may well be one of the coolest stories I've heard on this show, and you're episode 92. So amazing.
Good to know.
All right. So you said you had one newer one as well that you wanted to say. Yeah, an old one and one new one. That was the old one. You said you had a new one that you wanted to share as well.
Yeah, but the new ones are more about. I have a lot of crazy ones though, but I said one that is crazy. The other one is more about understanding business and how to be partners of, and understanding the pain of your clients too. Another client that I had till the start and I have now is Unilever, and they need. All those major companies, they need strong connections to their clients, to the retailers, to the wholesalers. It's not only about having the brand. If the brand is not shown and well presented to the consumers, and then you need to build up a good relationship with the trade marketing that I started my career learning. And then some years ago, incentive marketing was about campaigns that you compete, the ones that perform better, and you get prizes at the end. And during a big period of time, it was about giving experiences to people. Like, okay, you go to Italy to drive a Ferrari, or you go to Disney, you go to a major event to go the final of the Champions League. But then we understood that this is good. But this is, everyone can do it.
Right.
And then with Unilever, we created another level that is those guys, you can get better conditions, commercial conditions, but they will buy your brands anyway. But you need to show them that you are here as a real partner and paving all the system with them, paving the marketing, paving the trade. And then we put another level related to knowledge. And then we started a program with all those big clients that we go to all over the places in the world. We are in the 15th year of the program. And every year we go to a different place but we go together to understand the trade, to learn new practice, to talk about how to run a business. We have like an exclusive TED for those people. We go to have fun and those experiences. Let's drive Ferraris. Let's go to the amazing place. But we have parts that we understand. Okay, let's go to Japan. How is the retail there? What is different? For example, let's go to the US, but let's go to Harvard, or let's go to understand how the NFL is using data to increase the experience. And let's go then to Seattle to watch their game, but also have this conversation with them and meet the Amazon infrastructure, how to supply and everything. And then we created this program that is a mix of knowledge, fun, and connection. And this is another case that I'm super proud of, because we are year after year, and we went to Singapore. This year we go to Dubai. We went to a lot of cities here in the US. We went to a lot of cities in Europe, and we are expanding with them the understanding about what is the trade and how to create good relationship and good experience to Unilever clients, but also their clients, because then they understand these two route relationships and they become loyal, they become fans, even being clients,
Yeah.
And this is another case that I like a lot, about understanding also the real pain of the ones that you are talking.
Yeah, and that's huge, because that's how you relate to them, right? Like, that's how you go, we see you, and we can help you this way, and we're here for you, kind of thing. So
Yes.
I love it. Well, look, we are coming up on time already. This has gone super fast. I love it.
Yeah.
So before we wrap, I do have one last question for you, though. Is there anyone or anything in your career you'd like to shout out to the audience? Maybe a mentor, a valuable resource, a client?
There is one person in Brazil, but maybe in the world. He's God. Sadly, he passed last year, and he was my biggest inspiration. And after became a kind of friend. His name is Washington Oliveto. I don't know if you have ever heard about. He's on the Hall of Fame. He has a huge tribute this year at Cannes. It's one of the most creative guys in advertising. He shaped culture in Brazil. He created culture. He was a genius because he understood what really marketing was. And this was the one that made a lot of people at my time wants to work in the industry and make it strong and sexy and good. And I don't know, I have a lot of inspiration from him, and it was an honor after this to work together in clients. When he was the advertising agency, I was the below the line, and then after becoming friends, and I wrote a book actually last year. It's called Marketing with No Blah Blah Blah. It's how marketing can help to shape culture in this new era, more filled with purpose. And in this book, he wrote the first pages, and I made some reference and I talk a lot of things about him and other interesting things about how marketing can be an important tool to make this world better, more diverse, inclusive, more just. That's it.
That's beautiful. And where's that book available at?
This book, unfortunately, it's only in Brazil. It's in Portuguese. It's Amazon Brazil. I'm working with the editor to make the spin-off to bring it here, but we are working the marketing there before. I'm giving some lectures. I'm participating in some events, and at the right time, we'll bring it to the US.
Awesome. Well, let me know when that happens, and I'll definitely shout out.
I will send you an autographed copy.
I would love that. All right. So we've been talking to Alain, who is the founder and CEO of Motivare. You can check out their website at motivare.com.br. I assume that's for Brazil, right? But if listeners want to follow up with you directly, where should they go?
The website is we are creating a new one related to this new world, new consumers, and the one that is there is the old one, but soon we'll have a good version of it. I'm more active on LinkedIn. My name, Alain Levy. People that want to connect with me can send messages there direct or follow my content. I talk about marketing purpose. We share some stories there.
Awesome. Well, all right, I want to give a big shout out to Alex Valdivia, who connected us with you as well.
He is a really great guy. He's so talented, and I'm honored to have him. Motivare was his first real job, and this was one guy that I mentored at the beginning of his career, and he became one of the top on retail design and marketing nowadays. We still work together in some jobs, but it's an honor also to be his friend.
I love that. Yeah, Alex is great, and we had him on a previous episode here. So if you want to check that episode out, scroll back through the playlist.
Yeah.
All right, Alain. Well, it was so nice to have you on the show. Thank you for being here, and we will see you all next time. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you very much.
We really hope you enjoyed the show. Please like and subscribe to join us on our next journey through the world of art and business on the Pixel Retentive Podcast.